The Great Arch of the Fertile Crescent is a rich land cradled between the River Tigris and Euphrates. It is also the birthplace of civilization. Today, we call this place Iraq, but the Greeks called it Mesopotamia. By peeling back the layers of history, we will be able to trace the origins of our oldest stories in this land. This journey will also take us back to the deepest roots of some of today's major religions. The history of Mesopotamia will take us to a period so distant that Eden can only precede it. In fact, narratives that would later come to be rewritten in Hebrew scriptures, providing the basis for the Old Testament in Christianity, are traced back to Mesopotamia. Join us in this Liber-Tea episode as we travel back in time to the cradle of civilization. The Mesopotamian civilization was a collection of tribes whose unifying factors were their gods, script, and attitudes towards women and girls. Several ancient civilizations are associated with Mesopotamia, including the Akkadians, Babylonians, Assyrians, and Sumerians. In the course of their existence, these cultures ruled over each other and interacted for thousands of years. We will first begin with the Sumerian Empire. The Sumerian civilization began in southern Mesopotamia in circa 4000 BCE, which translates to over 6,000 years ago. By 3000 BCE, the Mesopotamians had come up with the first written scripts, which were wedge-shaped inscriptions on clay tablets. This form of writing is popularly referred to as cuneiform. Mesopotamians used cuneiform to write the world's first novel, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, on a light note, is considered by many to be the world's first superhero. The Mesopotamians used writing as a way of recording business transactions, writing letters, and narrating stories. Additionally, the remarkable invention of the wheel is the brainchild of the Sumerians. Historians and archaeologists believe that the Sumerians invented the wheel as early as 3500 BCE. Sumerians also constructed ships that allowed them to travel and trade with their neighbors and other empires. For instance, the Sumerians conducted trade with the Harappans of North India in ivory, pearls, copper, and semi-precious stones. The Sumerian pantheon contained gods that were anthropomorphic, meaning that they took human form. Their temples were constructed atop huge ziggurats, which were mostly found in the center of most Mesopotamian cities. In 3000 BCE, a significant cultural interchange occurred between the Sumerians and the Akkadians. The Akkadians hailed from the city-state of Akkad in the northern regions of Mesopotamia. The Hebrew and Arab languages have close ties to the Akkadian language. These languages are also referred to as Semitic languages. The term Semitic derives from the Shem, the son of Noah, an ancestor of Abraham, who is the purported progenitor of Arab and Jewish people, according to the Bible and Quran. In 2334 BCE, Sargon of Akkad founded the first dynastic empire in the world. The Akkadian civilization lorded over both Sumerian and Akkadian people in Mesopotamia and the Levant, modern-day Lebanon and Syria. The Acadian Empire ruled the region for 180 years, collapsing in 2154 BCE. Babylon was an insignificant city-state that was located in central Mesopotamia. The fortunes of the city, which was founded in 1894 BCE, changed tremendously when Hammurabi took power. Hammurabi ruled Babylon from 1792 BCE to 1750 BCE. Hammurabi was a highly effective king who established a central government with taxation and legal codes. In the course of his reign, Hammurabi freed Babylon from its foreign rulers and established it as the dominant power in central and southern Mesopotamia. This also brought stability to the region. One of the most important things that King Hammurabi did was establish the Code of Hammurabi. This code improved and echoed earlier laws of the Sumerian, Akkadian, and Assyrian civilizations. The Code of Hammurabi was written on clay tablets and stone slabs. The code contained over 282 laws, which comprised various punishments meted out per social status. For instance, if a married man committed adultery, he received a minor punishment for the offense. However, if a woman committed adultery, the woman and her lover were tied together using ropes and thrown into a river. Unfortunately, across all Mesopotamian civilizations, the role of women was subordinate to men. For instance, married women were considered to be their husband's property, including any property they brought into the marriage. Many people view the Code of Hammurabi as the earliest form of a constitutional government. The code provided for, among other things, the right to adduce evidence and the presumption of innocence. The Babylonian civilization, whose dominance was established by King Hammurabi, spanned for 260 years until the city of Babylon was sacked in 1531 BCE. However, the empire reasserted its dominance in the period ranging from 626 BCE to 539 BCE. Historians refer to this period as the Neo-Babylonian Empire. In 539 BCE, the Persians overthrew the Neo-Babylonian Empire to establish themselves as the dominant power in Mesopotamia. The Persian Empire was an extremely successful establishment that ruled the world until it was overthrown by Alexander the Great in 335 BCE. After the death of Alexander, one of his generals took power and established the Seleucid Empire, which reigned over Mesopotamia until 63 BCE, when the Parthians and the Sasanians vanquished it. However, both endeavored to honor and preserve the legacies of earlier Mesopotamian empires. Unfortunately, Muslim Arabs devastated the ancient culture of the Mesopotamians that the Parthians and Sasanians strived to preserve during the 7th century CE conquest of Mesopotamia. Unfortunately, even today, extremist groups such as ISIS continue to destroy the remnants of these ancient civilizations. While the Mesopotamian civilization is long gone, some of its legacies have survived the test of time. These include the wheel, urbanization, animal husbandry, irrigation, astronomy, writing, and a myriad of agricultural developments. Thank you for listening to this episode. Like, share, and subscribe to Liber-Tea for more discussions on interesting historical events across the world. Feel free to comment below. Tell us what other civilizations you would like us to discuss.